Hey guys, welcome back to another TDS video. Today we will be discussing how to make a perfect loadout in TDS. Let's begin and enjoy. Firstly, we must discuss how to best use each of the 5 slots. Almost always in TDS, for all the main modes, you will need 1. Economy Tower, 2. Early Game Tower, 3. DPS Tower, 4. Support Tower, 5. Free Slot Mid-Game Tower. Allow me to explain each of these tower types, etc. 1. Economy Tower. This is one of the most important towers in your loadout, as it generates money for you to buy the rest of your towers. The 2 main economy towers in TDS are Farm, G Cowboy. You should have at least one of these in your loadout when playing normal modes. If you have Cowboy, it can kinda replace the need for an early game tower too. However, it makes less money than Farm. I would generally recommend Farm as it's easier to use. Be careful not to over farm and die though. 2. Early Game Tower. This is the tower you will use to defend the early waves with. It needs to be cheap with good cost efficiency to allow you time to farm. The best early game towers are G Pyro, G Soldier, Brawler, G Scout. These towers all are cheap with relatively high DPS and great cost efficiency. The best is Brawler, however G Soldier is a close second. If you do not own these towers, there are other good replacements such as Crook Boss, G Cowboy, Trapper. These are often not as good as the previously mentioned early game towers, however they are still incredibly good. 3. DPS Tower. This is the tower you will use in the late game. It will kill the bosses and take care of the end game. The best DPS towers are Pursuit, Ranger, Gatling Gun, Engineer. These for all have really high DPS, many detections and unstunability. If you don't have these, there are other good DPS towers such as G Minigunner, Accelerator, Turret. These 3 offer good detections and high DPS, but do not offer the unstunability as the 4 before. 4. Support Tower. There are 2 types of support towers. They are buff your troops, affect enemies. Generally, the towers that buff your troops are better. However, freezing and stunning towers can also offer great utility. The main 2 towers that buff your troops are DJ, Commander. DJ offers a wide range of buffs such as discounts, damage buffs, and range buffs. On the other hand, Commander mostly offers a huge DPS boost with its ability to increase your tower's fire rate. Let's talk about the other type of support towers now. The other type of support towers are based on slowing the buffing enemies. This can be done in many ways, with the most common being freezing. These are often not as powerful as the support troops which buff your towers, and therefore, I don't readily recommend using them. Generally, I would recommend DJ as the best support tower to bring. 5. Mid-Game Tower. This tower is a bridge between high DPS late-game towers and cheaper early-game towers. However, this is not very necessary as this role can usually be done with a combination of your early and late-game towers. Some good examples of mid-game towers may be Biologist, Harvester, Minigunner. If you don't use any of these, this tower slot can be replaced with another support tower or another DPS tower, depending on the mode. Now, you finally have a perfect TDS loadout formula. I have created some example loadouts in case you are unsure. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helps you in your games. Thanks for watching.